Hello Internet, I'm the Disney Brain and welcome to another edition of The Top. Last week, we covered the top 10 best Disney Channel dudes. This week, it's time for the Disney Channel ladies to take over. This was the hardest video to make yet, probably even harder than my 16-minute long Descendants review. There's even more great female characters to sort through than the guys, so plenty will have been missed here, but remember, that's not from a lack of love. And, as always, make sure to comment with your own favorites. With all that said, let's kick things off with number 10. I know, Smackle isn't exactly a main character, but that doesn't make her any less of one. She has already turned into one of the best developed side characters Disney Channel has ever given us. Girl Meets Farkle was one of the best episodes of the show because it beautifully handled the condition known as Asperger's, and even though Farkle ended up not having it, Smackle did, and this explains a lot of her more awkward social interactions. She's not acting this way because of some bad stereotype about smart people, it's a legitimate part of who she is, a part that she's desperately trying to fight against so that she can live life with some semblance of normalcy. If she was part of the main cast of Girl Meets World, she would easily be top 5 on this list already. And it goes without saying, but I'm really looking forward to what happens next with her. And finally we reach the second piece of the Proud Family puzzle that gave me all the laughs way back when. Most of you are probably way too young to get this reference, but she reminds me a lot of Fred Sanford from Sanford & Son, with both of them harassing their sons to no end and creating a lot of humorous moments as a direct result. And really, that's about it with Suga Mama. For me, she's just a really funny character in a show that would still be pretty good without her. But she always makes every episode better with her sass and attitude that feels very fitting within their family dynamic. Another proud moment for the Proud Family. As I mentioned in my commentary on Justin Russo, I wasn't always the biggest fan of Alex, but she did nothing but grow on me as Wizards slowly turned into one of my favorite shows. The Wizards movie was invaluable to that end, because it did a great job of showing a new side of her, as well as developing her overall relationship with her entire family. She can be lazy and a bit of a handful at times, but at her best, she's got a big heart and will do anything for the people that she cares about. Traits I can definitely get behind. It's nice to see Selena Gomez still having her own success today, and not dropping off the face of the earth like so many child stars do. Whether you love her or hate her, there's never a dull moment with Alex Russo. Riley is pretty much sharing a spot with Farkle as my favorite Girl Meets World character. Her energy, her can-do attitude, and her smile through the face of many adversities is actually really inspiring. I don't consider myself a sunshine and rainbows sort of person, but for the most part, watching Riley leads me to see a more positive side of the world, a perspective that is sorely lacking in our harder times. I don't need to remind you of how impactful Girl Meets Rileytown was, but the reason it was impactful for me is because of how powerful a character Riley already established herself as being. If it happened in episode 4, for example, yeah, I wouldn't have liked the fact that she was being bullied, but it wouldn't have been an instant tearjerker. And, on the flip side, Girl Meets Rara was so impactful for me because it was Riley finally succeeding in something she never gave up at. She's not perfect by any means, but I'll take her over a more objectively flawless character any day of the week. I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to... Shigo is the ultimate badass in Kim Possible. Why she takes orders from Dr. Draken is anyone's guess, but her fights with Kim are some of the best action scenes in a show filled with great action scenes. Her practical attitude and heavy use of sarcasm also make her dry humor laugh out loud funny as well. And as far as evil backstories go, she's got a pretty good one. It's something you just have to watch, I can't spoil that here. There's not too many words I can use to effectively describe why Shigo is as awesome as she is. You really just have to experience her character to understand it. If you have, you know why she's this high. If you haven't, it's time to start binge watching Kim Possible. Here's where it got tricky with the placement. Technically, I don't like Maya as much as Riley, just a personal choice, but I do think that Maya is the better character. There's so much we don't know about her in the beginning, and her rough life is slowly brought up in more and more episodes. Her relationship with her mother, her relationship with Sean, her relationship with her friends and life in general makes her one of the most fascinating people on this show. She has this smugness about her that's also never off-putting. It almost always feels like just enough to be enjoyable, which is hard to pull off. I also love the fact that her environment made her tough, but not the kind of tough that makes others feel weak. I mean, come on, how many times have we had the TV bully of the horrible home life? And just like Farkle, she's done a lot of maturing since season 1. With her, it's a lot less pronounced, but if you've been watching the show, you can really feel her growth. I have a hunch that when Girl Meets World is all said and done, that Sabrina Carpenter might end up as the best actor to come out of that show, but only time will tell. Surprising absolutely no one is a top 5 appearance by the girl that can do anything. Shigo may be a badass, but Kim is the badass that always beats her. Also, saving the world in almost every episode earns you a few points. But the most appealing thing about Kim is that she's not this ego-driven superhero, she just wants to help people. Every time Team Possible need to get from one locale to another, they always have a contact in the area that is ready and very willing to help. They aren't just saving the world, they're connecting with people. The same people that end up returning the favor later on. Kim Possible as a show is one that has a lot going for it. Great villains, great supporting characters, and great action. But a lot of that wouldn't matter as much if it wasn't all anchored by a powerful main protagonist who invented the shorter way to say situation that many of us still use today. She's not someone I personally can relate to all that much, so I can understand why some might place her even higher than 4. But hey, this show has appeared in every single positive list I have made, so this seems fair enough. Lilo started in one of the best Disney movies ever, and then parlayed that success into a TV show that was also one of Disney Channel's best ever. The best thing about Lilo is her complete and total disregard for the status quo. She is by far the weirdest girl on the island, and she embraces that, despite the fact that most people just don't understand her. Her relationship with her sister and legal guardian Nani is also one of the best orchestrated dynamics between two sisters I've ever seen. I watched Lilo's zaniness for all of 2 minutes before I realized, yep, I'm really gonna like this character. And it does help that her persona is paralleled by an equally crazy world of intergalactic lifeforms and experiments. It really ties everything up nicely. It's way more interesting for a kid already a little strange to be part of something even stranger with Stitch. This was a pretty easy pick for me, relatively speaking, because I feel like I can relate to her weirdness, and who wants to be normal anyways? And so we finally reached the top 2, featuring first the one that kept me watching Hannah Montana even when I didn't care too much for Miley herself, Lily Trescott. I love this character, and I love Emily Osment who plays her. Her energy is infectious. Her sportiness for me is actually a huge positive, and she's unlike any other girl this show has to offer. It's no big secret that I'm a fan of weird, and Lily has me sold from the very first episode. I always think about how great the Teen Court episode of Hannah Montana was, because at the end of it, it's revealed that the boy that liked Lily was actually enamored by the way she was before Miley convinced her to act less like herself and more like a prototypical girl. The lesson is an obvious one. Just be yourself, and it's herself that I fell for. Again, similar to the last list, there's a lot of trends with this one. I like guys that are smart but also kind. I like girls that are weird or unique and embrace that. However, there's no Disney Channel character that has affected me more significantly than numero uno. But before we get there, let's give out some honorable mentions. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit different. I kinda wrote a poem. I know, not exactly my usual trademark of overthinking an in-depth character analysis, but I tried to do that here and I wasn't getting anywhere for 5 hours straight, and this sort of just came out of nowhere. It felt right, so I just rolled with it. I'm telling you right now, I am no Langston Hughes, so please, go easy on me. Anyways, here goes. The words didn't come easy, as you can likely imagine, more difficult than slaying a fire-breathing dragon, so I went with a poem, the one I'm now saying. I'm hoping it's good, but really, I'm praying. Maddie is special in a great many ways. If I listed them all, this poem would take days. Her will to win, that competitive drive, she'll keep pushing when others just wouldn't survive. She's fearless, passionate, and undeniably smart, and when it comes to the family, she's got a huge heart. Watching her inspires me to do more, if I can. One could say that she makes me a better man. She could run for president, or rule the whole world, but no matter her mission, or her life's ambition, she'll always be my #1 DC girl. So this is my poem, complete with the rhymes. I know this video is a bit heavy on time, so I'll finish up now. I'll wrap up quick, and hopefully you viewers don't regret the click. And I don't know how, and I don't know when, my heart she managed to steal, and she may forever be just a girl on TV, but that won't change the way I feel. So for me, she'll always be real. And now, to help me close out the list, Bruno Mars.
And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, help me out with the likes, subs, and share it all over social media. And don't forget to follow the Disney Brain on Facebook and Twitter for updates. Links down below. Unless you guys really want me to, I'm thinking of staying away from a top 5 worst on this topic. I mean, do you really want to hear me complaining about these people for God knows how long? And oh geez, don't even get me started. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes, so the Girl Meets Bay window review will be the next video with probably another DCOM review in the coming week, so be on the lookout for those. Until then...
We even got you a number 6 jersey, because we figured you'd want to change your number.
Actually, I've decided to stick with the number 5. That's the day my best friend was born.